everyone, my name is Bethany with Craft with Bethany, and today we are kicking off September of 2021 with a special project. This project is made with the products from the September mystery box released by mycraftsource. Now this mystery box was actually handpicked by myself. So all of the items in the mystery box for the month of September are gonna be things that I picked out myself that I want to craft along with you guys. And so all of September, I'm gonna be releasing different tutorials throughout the month using the products specifically from my mystery box that I partnered with mycraftsource to create. And you can get access to this mystery box the entire month of September or until supplies last. Let's kind of dive in. So the first project we're gonna do is a faux leather project. That's right, there's faux leather in this mystery box, as well as some HTV, which stands for heat transfer vinyl, which as you can see, I have a lot behind me here. So if you have not grabbed your mystery box, it's a big box. You're gonna wanna be sure you get it, okay? There's a lot of goodies in here, a lot of variety of goodies, a lot of different things that I personally like to craft with. So we're gonna have a lot of fun together. So today's project is some keychains. I thought we'd start with a simple one. We've definitely got some harder projects in this box, but I don't wanna overwhelm you all. We're gonna go through all of it step by step anyway, so you'll learn all about the products that are in the box throughout the month. So don't wait to get them. But we're gonna make 2 keychains today. And these are the faux leathers that will be in your mystery box. I believe there's one other as well. So, but I'm making keychains out of these 2. I'm gonna save the other one for something else. So stay tuned for that faux leather project. So these are really quick and easy projects. These make great little quick grab and go gifts. You can make these in literally 5 minutes. So we're gonna go through this project really quickly, but I love this faux leather. So I picked out this one. I think they call it serape. I don't know the technical term here for this print, but I love the colors and the striping, and this is such good faux leather. It's very soft. It's not super stiff, but it's nice and thick. So, and then what you can see is I used a heat transfer vinyl on the inside. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that. This is another faux leather. This one is just a honeycomb print. It comes with the glitter already on it. So you can see how it has like a glittery sheen. But you can also get this one without glitter if you don't want the glitter on this side of it. But then I paired it with a black and silver glitter on the inside. And we'll talk about the 2 different heat transfer vinyls that I used as we go through these projects. Of course, those are the 2 items that come in the mystery box, the faux leather and the HTV. The clasps and hooks and tassels and all of that, you will have to get separate. And I will be linking all of that in the description below so that you can make these with us. And once you start making these, you're gonna be hooked. These are great, like I said, for gifts. They are great to put like as a like tag holder on a gift or something, or just something little you want to give to your coworker. But these are also really great to make and sell, like if you're selling things at like a vendor fair. These go over really well. They're a quick, easy make. They're pretty inexpensive to make, and they're a pretty popular item right now. So make them for yourself, make them for your friends and family, or make them to sell. So let's get started with our craft project today. Okay, so for the products that you need, you're gonna get the faux leather included in your mystery box. You're also gonna get the heat transfer vinyl. Now this heat transfer vinyl I had already. This is the Caesar brand heat transfer vinyl, which you can also get through mycraftsource. I chose to pair this one up with the serape, but then I used this one that comes in your mystery box with the honeycomb. So you can pair them up however you like. You can use heat transfer vinyl that you already have, or you can use the ones that come in the box. These tassels right here, I got in a kit. I will link those below. I just chose to use those for these prints of vinyl and faux leather. You're gonna need some little jump rings, some clasps, and these hooks right here. They have these little teeth in them, and that's what holds this all together right here in the middle like a little sandwich. You just clip it on there and you clamp it down with this tool right here. Now this thing looks like a beast and it is kind of heavy, but it comes with a kit that I'm going to link below where you can get all of these pieces in one kit just to get you started. But then when you really start making these more and more, you're probably going to end up buying these separate, buying different hooks. Just there's a lot of variety of different tassels. I have some small ones, I have some big ones. I kind of like the big ones on these. But I bought this tool with a kit that came with some of this stuff. And then you're also gonna need some little pliers. You can use some of these like this, or you can use some different ones like this. I believe these actually came in a kit with some of the stuff that I got. So like I said, I'll link everything below that you'll need. And then you're also gonna need a rotary cutter and a mat. We are gonna use a ruler like this. But any ruler will work, but I just have this one. This is a pretty big one, but we're gonna be using the ruler to cut our strips. And then your last thing you're gonna need is gonna be some sort of heat source. I am using the Cricut mini heat press today and a mat to put underneath what we're gonna be pressing and heating. And that is over on the other table. So you'll see that in a minute. It's not here with all of this. If you don't have a Cricut mini press, you can probably use a regular press, but you're gonna wanna put a protective layer, or if you need to use an iron, just make sure it's with no steam at the hottest setting, and you're gonna wanna use some protective sheet over it. So let's get started into making this project, okay? Let's dive right in. Okay, so these faux leather sheets come in 12 by 12 size, and I've already cut this one down by 1 inch, so that's why it's a little smaller. But what I did is I lined up my edge with the edge of my mat here and made sure it's straight here. So now I know this is square. If for any reason your piece of faux leather is not square, then you're going to want to slide it over a little, use your ruler, and trim it off so that it is square. But I did already square this one up, so we should be good to go, because I already made one of these to show you guys before we dove in and started doing it together. Okay, so our faux leather is gonna be 1 inch wide and as long as the piece of faux leather that I got from mycraftsource. So this is, like I said, a 12 by 12. So the strip is gonna be 12 inches by 1 inch. And I'm gonna take my ruler, I'm gonna line it up with the 1 inch mark here and here, so that I make sure that my piece that I'm gonna cut is nice and straight and even all the way across. This is where having a really good rotary blade on your rotary cutter comes in handy when cutting faux leather. And I'm gonna place my hand here to hold it nice and firm and just cut straight across, applying pressure, and it just comes right across, right apart. So that's perfectly easy. Now, if you're gonna make a bunch of these, it's super easy to just lift this over, place it down at the next 1 inch mark, and cut another one. There you go. So that way you can cut them all, and then you're gonna cut all your vinyl together, and then you can make them all really quickly. This is how making these for gifts or to sell at a vendor fair is really easy, because you can cut all of your materials pretty much the same way. So now that we've got these cut, we're gonna cut our HTV, our heat. Okay, so we have moved over to where I have my Cricut mini heat press that I will be using today to press the HTV onto the faux leather. I have it set to 2 because we are using a glitter HTV. I don't want to turn it up too high because we are pressing it onto a faux leather. I don't want to melt it, okay? So you can set it to 1 and press it a little longer. You can set it 2 and do what I'm doing today. I do have a Cricut mat underneath. This is a padded mat for pressing materials with a heat press or mini heat press. I recommend definitely having something underneath when you're pressing. You don't want to do it right down onto your countertop surface. So what we're going to do is I have my faux leather lined up here, and we're going to flip up over my faux leather so that the back side is facing up, and we're going to take my heat transfer vinyl, and you see that this is the glitter side, and then this is like a matte side. This is actually the back side that we're going to adhere to the back side of our faux leather. So we're going to place it, basically we're placing it wrong sides together. The back sides are going together here. And if my vinyl is a little bit bigger or smaller than my faux leather, that's okay. We can trim any excess as needed, but we're just gonna go ahead and get it pressed on, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Cricut press and I'm just gonna set it down. I just wanna set this in place. Okay, now that I've got it set in place, I can gently move it across the faux leather from one side to the other. That way it doesn't get crooked, okay? You definitely want to keep it moving when using the Cricut mini press. And it usually takes about 3 or 4 passes to really get it on there good, because this is a glitter HTV. There we go. Now, don't touch it. We want to let this cool completely before we try to peel up the clear layer that is on this top side of this glitter vinyl. So while that's cooling, I'm going to go ahead and do these other 2 real quick. There we go. All right, so right now you see the HTV, the faux leather's on the bottom side. I'm gonna let these cool for a few seconds. I believe this one, yeah, this one's still warm. Don't get me wrong, it's still warm to my touch, but it's not super hot, so I'm able to pick it up. My faux leather still looks great on the other side. So now what we wanna do is remove that protective clear sheet on top of the glitter. Okay, just like that. And when you do that, you'll notice that your glitter is even more sparkly and pretty than before. So now our heat transfer vinyl is securely onto our faux leather. It still bends and moves and is nice and soft. Now, I was going to tell you the difference between the 2 glitters I'm using today. This one is called the Caesar Sparkle Midnight Black. So it's got a lot of silver in it and black in it, and it's the sparkle glitter. The difference between the sparkle glitter and the regular glitter Caesar HTV is the texture. So this one, as I peel it back, you'll see it really sparkle and come to life. It's so pretty. This black is probably one of my favorite glitters. You'll see this one kind of come to life a little differently than this one did. But this one's got the texture. I don't know if you can hear that. Whereas this one doesn't make that sound. This is really smooth. It has the look of glitter, but not the feel and texture of glitter, whereas this one has the feel and texture. Now they're both really soft and bendy. They're not super thick. They still make a great wristlet keychain. So both are great options. And I was excited to get to try this sparkle version of their glitter just because I've never used it before. I do love it. I just think it adds a different element. So this is the Midnight Black. Yes, it looks very silver compared to this black, but this was the Midnight Black Sparkle Caesar HTV. It's just a completely different, like, wow look. And then there's this one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I have all of my pieces out for assembling our keychain. And what I'm gonna do first here is check the back side. Now you see I have a little bit of extra faux leather here. I am just going to line my blade up with the edge of the heat transfer vinyl and just cut that little bit off. This side I'm not too worried about, it's very little, okay? And then let's check this one. This one looks good. There we go. Now that I've got my faux leather trimmed here, I am going to start assembling my keychain. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take my tool and my little claw here. If you can see this, my tool and my claw, and I'm gonna set it down into the tool. I find it easier to do it that way. You wanna just make sure it's lined up with the edges here. And I like to put the teeth at the top just so I can smoothly slide in my faux leather. Just like that, nice and even. I'm holding it with one hand and I'm folding my leather in half with the other. And I'm making sure that my edges are lined up nice and even. And then I'm just gonna slide this in and make sure that the edge of this leather or faux leather, my keychain, is lined up with the edge of this clasp, okay? And then we're gonna just clamp down, okay? And then I'm gonna take the edges and really make sure that they're clamped down really good. Once you clamp this down, there's no unclamping it. It's really hard, okay? I did get off just a little bit, but again, these are handmade. It's not gonna be perfect every single time. And I lined it up pretty well on this side. So sometimes it's a little off, not always. This one, these keychain pieces right here are 1 inch wide. That's why these strips are 1 inch wide. Okay, so there's that one. Let's do one more. Again, I'm gonna put my keychain ring and this little claw piece into this first. Fold this in half. Line it up, nice and even. There we go. Make sure you don't clamp your fingers, okay? Voila. Nicely done. All right, so let's put on our final touches and we'll be good to go. Okay, so now that we're done with this tool, we can put it aside and get our little needle nose pliers. And what I like to do is do it all in one swift move. It just makes it easier. So I'm gonna take my hook and I'm gonna start with this one. So I'm gonna take my clasp, my little, that you can clip it to your purse or something else. And I'm gonna take one of my little jump rings right here. These come already open, so you shouldn't have to open them. And I'm gonna put that on this little claw, I don't know, whatever you want to call this, hook. And then I'm going to attach my tassel that I've chosen to add. And I'm going to stick it on that same jump ring. So now I've got two things on there. So it's getting a little crowded, but we're almost done. Then I've got this final hook that comes with this little clasp that holds the keychain together. And I'm going to slide that on there. So now it's all on there. I hope you guys can see that. All three pieces are on. I'm going to take my little needle nose pliers and I'm just going to pinch this jump ring together. And that's what holds it all together. I try to get these to line up. There we go. Easy peasy. So now it's all together in one piece. Now, if you wanted to hook the tassel and other stuff directly onto this, you could with maybe a bigger jump ring. It's totally up to you. You could keep it separate, but I like to just do it all in one. It just makes it a little easier. There we go. So we have our keychain. Simple enough. Let's do the other one real quick, just so you guys can see that one more time. Same parts, I'm just using a different colored tassel. I have my jump ring, and I know they're small, so just bear with me. I got my little claw. I have my tassel. I'm going to put that on. Then I'm going to take my keychain and stick it on there. There we go. So I've got it all on there. Well, I did, hold on. There we go. This narrow part of the key ring is usually the easiest part to kind of slide it on there. And then I'm just gonna pinch it shut with my pliers. You just kind of have to maneuver it until you can hold it in a position that allows you to clamp it shut. And once it's clamped shut, you're good to go. There we go. Because you don't want any of these to come falling off. And I know I'm fidgeting a little bit, but that's okay. There we go. Now it's on there. Easy as that. And I love this one, like golden orangey yellow color, just matches perfectly with this one. And then you have your glitter on the inside as a contrast, which is super fun, adds a little sparkle to it. I love the glitter on the outside of this one, but I also love that this one doesn't have the glitter, it's just on the inside. And yes, this one has the texture, but it's still super smooth and comfortable to wear on your wrist, just as this one is. Okay, so lots of options. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. So what did you guys think? I think these keychains turned out really cute. What do you guys think? I love these faux leathers. They're really good quality faux leathers. And you can't go wrong with the Caesar brand HTV. So that's what I love to use for this project. I will again tag everything that we use today in the description below so you can make these. Again, the faux leather and the HTV comes in the September mystery box over on mycraftsource website. Again, that is linked below as well. So the rest of the stuff in this mystery box, we are going to be working through all of these products that are in here throughout the month of September. But this box is only available while supplies last. So that doesn't mean it's going to be available the entire month. So if you're really excited and you want to do some more craft projects along with me, maybe take a chance and try some new products out. If you've never worked with faux leather today and you get this mystery box and you make this, you're going to be so excited. We have another faux leather project that we're going to be doing in the near future from this same mystery box, so I want you to tune in for that one. But there's some other projects in here that have nothing to do with faux leather, nothing to do with HTV, heat transfer vinyl, some really fun stuff. So we'll stay tuned for those. I will continue to release those throughout the month of September. And I'm thinking about maybe giving away the projects that I make with this September mystery box. So if you think I should do that, leave a comment below and give me a thumbs up and let me know if I should do a giveaway with the projects that I make from this mystery box. I think that would be kind of fun. What do you think? All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I can't wait to see you in my craft room again to do another project from this mystery box. Be sure to follow my craft source online. And then again, I'm Craft with Bethany. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And I will see you next time, guys. Bye.